At your service.
Wasted effort.
I'm your girl.
My orders?
So helpful. Much needed.
I'll comply. I'll destroy you! Eventually, I too will fall.
Just like that.
I'd be honored.
What's my strategy?
We promised 5 years ago we'd meet, here and now.
Predictable. Watch and learn.
Too weak for this world.
I must steel myself.
It's over. I must lead them well.
Less.
The monastery has become a nest of thieves.
Professor, you're alive after all. But first things first. Let's defeat these thieves.
I'll lend a hand. We'll catch up later.
Listen up. We must end this quickly.
I won't falter. Without power, who can you protect?
Eventually, I too will fall.
It won't be in vain. Thank you. Ready when you are.
I'll cut through.
What's the plan?
That's your best? Child's play. That would work. There are openings to the north and south. We'll split into two and tear them apart.
Is this my last stand? You fought well. Sorry.
It's my duty.
I'll comply. See you in the eternal flames.
What's my strategy? All is going to plan. At your service. Well done.
What's the plan?
I'm your girl. So helpful. I'm your girl.
Wasted effort. I'll comply. Atone for your sins. Don't strike. I disposed of doubt long ago.
What's my strategy? It's time. Long time no see, Professor. I always knew in my heart that we'd meet again. Thank you. There's no turning back now. At your service.
My orders?
I'd be honored.
Ready when you are.
Oh, thanks.
What's the plan?
I'll cut through. Sorry.
Another victory.
talk and no action.
Well done. Wait,
Is that it?
See you in the eternal flames. No!
allow me to demonstrate.
It isn't looking good for us. Should we retreat? You didn't plan on letting him get away, did you? I don't need help.
All for our future.
Child's play. That's your best? I disposed of doubt long ago.
Thank you. Watch and learn.
That would work.
This could turn the tides.
Out of my way! All talk and no action. You should yield me a tidy profit. Child's play.
Watch and learn. I must lead them well. Ready when you are.
I'll comply. See you in the eternal flames.
I'm your girl.
I thought it would be easy money. Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Your Highness! Professor! I'm so glad you're both safe.
Why are you here?
Did you forget? We all made a promise on this very day 5 years ago.
Dimitri, weren't you the one who asked that we all meet up here?
Don't be silly. Of course you remember our promise. That's why you and the professor are here, right?
Your Highness, I have been following news of your whereabouts for a while now. I am relieved to have finally found you.
Do not call me that. I am not a prince, but a walking corpse.
That is what we all believed, but it is not so. I can see with my own eyes that you are alive, Your Highness. But the jail cells in Ferdiad are as solid as they come. How did you manage to...
do? He's dead. He died in my place.
I see. We will be sure to honor his loyalty, Your Highness. As for the state of the kingdom, the lords from the western regions have declared their fealty to the Empire, starting with House Rowe. Cornelia's band of traitors now refers to kingdom territory as the Fargus Dukedom. They've made Ferdiad their stronghold as they continue to invade the eastern region. There is much to tell you. I will explain everything in time.
Well, it's not like all of the kingdom's lords have sided with the Empire. There are plenty of houses, like mine and Felix's, that remain stubbornly opposed.
Your Highness, please allow us to take up arms at your side once more. What we need more than anything isn't soldiers, money, or supplies. We need the legitimate heir of Fargus to overthrow the Empire and reclaim the kingdom. Such is your duty. It is yours alone to bear, and well worth fighting for. Only you can gather our troops and lead us back into the light.
I see. So, you all agree that we must fight back. And you see how that woman, how the Empire cannot be forgiven. That we must wipe them all out until not a single one of them remains.
Wipe them all out? I don't think any of us here are suggesting anything that extreme.
Professor, there is something I would like to ask you. Please, join me inside the monastery. To think you survived under all that rubble for the past 5 years. I suppose stranger things have happened, odd as that is to admit. There is still much I would like to ask you, but I think that's enough for now. On that day 5 years ago, during the battle with the Imperial Army, Lady Rhea went missing. Since then, the Knights of Seiros have continued searching for her. And for you, I hear they have yet to find any promising leads. As the Empire has yet to release a statement, it's hard to imagine that she has perished. And yet, No, never mind. Once news of your survival gets out, everyone will flock back to the monastery. After that battle, a certain incident took place in Ferdiad. Rufus, who was serving as King Regent, was murdered. I was once a knight in service of the royal family. I resigned from the Knights of Seros and returned to serve the kingdom. However, this is madness. You truly claim that His Highness is the one who killed Rufus?
Oh, but it's true. The only one who could slip past the bodyguards and kill so efficiently is the young prince. You can't deny it.
Rufus is Prince Dimitri's uncle. His Highness is incapable of such an atrocious crime as murdering his own blood.
Ah, but they were never very close, were they? It's a well-known fact among former retainers. There are even rumors that Rufus was originally involved in the tragedy of Dusker. Perhaps His Highness believed those rumors and murdered Rufus in a fit of rage. But I'm afraid none of that matters now.
Cornelia, do not tell me that you...
The decision has been made. His Highness will pay for his crime with his head. His sentence will be carried out the day after tomorrow. On that day, the royal bloodline will come to an end. All you have left to do is sit back and watch, you senile old fool. Watch as the kingdom you love falls to ashes.
It was soon after announced that his sentence had been carried out. With His Highness's death, the royal bloodline of House Blathid was erased from this world. True to her word, all we could do was watch as she tore the kingdom apart before our eyes. Since the execution and the prince's corpse were concealed from the public, there have always been those who believed His Highness was still alive. As for myself, I only began to hope 3 years ago, when I chanced upon some compelling rumors. An Imperial platoon attacked without warning. Incident after incident of Imperial generals being slaughtered in Kingdom territory. It is said that each died in such a brutal, gruesome way that it is hard to imagine they were killed by human hands. I followed the rumors to location after location. Eventually, I had seen enough. I knew the rumors were true. Finally, after a half-decade of torment, it happened. I found him. I fear his deep hatred and the weight of his solitude have consumed him for far too long. We must bring him back from the edge on which he stands. To that end, I must speak with His Highness. I imagine it will not be a quick or easy conversation. I pray that he is of a mind to speak of such things. I am certain that my words will... never mind. What must be done, must be done. I would wager that you are weary after the day's events. Perhaps you should take this opportunity to get some rest.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Guardian Moon. The Delusional Prince. Prince Dimitri and the remnants of the royal army join with the remaining Knights of Seros to form a revitalized kingdom army. Using Garreg Mach as their base of operations, they rise to action against the Empire.
You? So you were alive after all.
It is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Oh, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you.
Damn. Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Gilbert has told us everything. From here on, our strength is yours as well.
Does my heart well to see that all of you are safe. Now that we have all gathered, let's discuss our next course of action.
We have two objectives: to overthrow the Empire and to rescue Rhea. I have no objection to joining forces with you. After all, our interests are aligned.
Nothing could be more reassuring than securing the cooperation of the Knights of Seros.
The Archbishop entrusted all of her affairs to you. From now on, I shall comply with your wishes.
We'll make Garreg Mach our base, and prepare to make our stand against the Empire. There is a fair amount of damage, but we will at least have shelter from the wind and rain.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
While it may be a strategic location, it's too far from the front lines to be worthy of notice at the moment. This area is inconvenient as far as transport time is concerned, so it's of little importance to their war effort.
Even so, nothing slips past the Emperor. It is safe to assume she at least has this place under surveillance.
Professor, what do you think about making this place our base? Fortunately, there are still villages and hamlets nearby, and though I wouldn't call them abundant, we have war funds as well. What do you think, Your Highness?
Do as you please.
Hey, don't act like this doesn't concern you. We finally reunited after all this time. We've got to work together.
She's right. In fact, why don't we all join forces and clean this place up a bit?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And it'll give us time to reminisce about all the good old days at the Academy. I can't wait.
How carefree of you.
It may sound trivial, but, well, I think it's a good idea.
I understand feeling impatient, Your Highness, but patience is key at a time like this. If we fix up our base, it will improve morale, which will be sorely needed as we...
Fools. Stay out of this.
Please, calm yourself, Your Highness. We are not your enemies.
My enemies say the same.
What happened to him? It's like he's a completely different person.
I feel so bad for him. Would it help if I brewed him a nice pot of tea?
I cannot claim to understand how he feels. However, the way he's behaving, it's as though he's being haunted by some unseen force. Perhaps.
Do you have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you. Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived. Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest. My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war? I suppose it's possible. He may be worried about carrying on his bloodline, but... I don't know what to do about this proposal. I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must. I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no. I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream. It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the officers' academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that. It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me. Ah! I knew you'd understand, Professor. I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need. That's a very good point. We're only given one life, so we must do all we can to pursue our happiness. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth, that I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else. Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious? I'm just teasing. Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
I will not yield! Yeah! It's been a while since I had such a close call. If not for you, Professor, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple scouting mission. You should be asking about the mission, not about me. I have to ask, Professor, what brought you here? So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you. These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here. Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen, in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course. I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. I don't really remember what happened. I was badly injured and near death. Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her. For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind. You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though. Just because I want to.
Thank you for inviting me. What a nice aroma. I really enjoy this tea. Thank you. It's a bit hot. Yes. Wow. Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes. Yes, I agree. Being here calms my nerves. Oh, but I'll leave if I'm in your way. Thank you for the treat. I had such a great time. I've set my sights higher.
Professor!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. It's you. You're still alive. It's been 5 whole years, hasn't it? Time flies when you're standing guard. That's right, I've been here the whole time. Day in and day out. Not like I have anywhere else to be. Seems to me things are pretty tough up top anyhow. These days it's probably cozier down here than it is up there. How's that for a change of pace?
Yes. A lot of folks cleared out once the fighting started. People are saying it was the church that used to keep order around here. But it's Yuri who's saving us from complete chaos.
Hey, pal. These past 5 years have been so chaotic, even the bounty hunters backed off. I kinda miss the chase. I don't have family ties worth fighting for, so these muscles are up for grabs. Use me as you see fit, pal. You're a smart one. Just point me at a problem and I'll smash it up for you. If you're worried my skills have dulled from disuse, think again. I've been fighting thieves to stay sharp. If you're worried, got a favor to ask.
Oh, you have the look of someone relieved to see me. Before you ask, yes, my superior spellcraft is yours. It's your reward for waiting so patiently for me. Your quick acceptance of the truth is gratifying. But my assistance has a price. I expect you to aid me in fulfilling my dream of restoring House Nouvelle.
You're back finally. I've been waiting for so long. I thought you might have died. But I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I stayed here. You're welcome. It wasn't easy. I've been kinda lonely. As you might have noticed, we've lost a few people down here.
You've been snoozing a while, so allow me to fill you in. There's a madman roaming Fargus. Imperial troops entering Kingdom settlements are destroyed seemingly overnight. Townspeople on the front lines are terrified. And yet they simultaneously treat this as though he's some sort of hero, blazing through the land. Can't imagine their surprise when they realized it was their own prince.